YouTube world. I'm back again. Let me just show you something before I get started. This was a painting that I did 2 videos ago. Somebody suggested, can't remember your name, sorry. Somebody suggested that I swipe over the base again. I thought, well, why not? And that's exactly what I did. And my paint was too thick. I mean, it's still a nice painting, but I didn't get the cells that I wanted. Didn't quite work out, but it's all about consistency. With a swipe, your paint probably needs to be on the thinner side, thinner than a flip cup. And the black that I used was an old black that had line around. I had no idea what the pouring medium was. Yeah, so I know I can do this again. I know I can do it better. But I'm going to put it to one side for now. Yeah, still colourful. So today I'm doing another couple of simple swipes. I showed the colours at the beginning. So this painting here I did a couple of weeks ago, and I don't always get it right. I didn't film it. I kind of knew it wasn't going to work because these were old paints that I had lying around that were too fluid because it all went a bit wonky. And here you can see, obviously one of the paints had silicone in. Can you see the bare canvas showing there? That happens when your silicone hits the bare canvas. And I obviously swiped a lot of paint off, swiped again, and then obviously the silicone hits the bare canvas before the paint, and it creates these kind of white patches. But it just all went a little bit wonky, and I think there's probably 2 different pouring mediums in it. It doesn't, I'm learning that it doesn't really, it's not helpful to keep paints around for too long. Obviously these are handy to have, these squeezy bottles, but if you're not going to get through the colours quickly, and if you chop and change your pouring medium, as I do, and your consistency, you end up with paint lying around for a long time. So I would actually recommend that you make up colours you don't use very often in small quantities, and colours you do use quite a lot in bigger quantities. Save wasting paint. So today I have got a plan in my head. So this painter my son did, and he didn't like it. It was his first attempt at a swipe, well, second actually, because he did that little workshop with me, Lockdown Madness, a couple of videos ago. But he didn't like this one, so I'm going to paint over both of these. Now, the thing with painting over canvases is they lose their elasticity. They lose their bounce. Actually, it's not too bad, because what I've done is I sprayed the backs quite a lot, and then I've dried it with a heat gun, so I've given it every opportunity to really kind of shrink. So I'm hoping that there's not too much given them actually, and they're going to be okay. So let's get going, shall we? What can I say today? I'm going to be doing a Christmassy wintry pour very soon. Had it all planned in my head. Very excited about it. was a bit of a challenge. Very quickly realised that the white and the pearl white wasn't going to cover that black canvas. So there's areas here that, after swiping, obviously show the canvas. But I'm not worried about that because I'm going to do my thing with a stick and it will break that up anyway. So I'm going to use it to my advantage. Obviously this one, nothing happened when I swiped, just a little bit down here. So I probably shouldn't have swiped with a copper. It's a copper, it's PBO copper actually. I've had more luck with the Sargent's copper actually for swiping. This is my very favourite colour combination. This is what I started out doing. This is my very first, when I did my 3 little swipes. I can see them out the corner of my eye. Let me get it. I have them propped up in the corner of my studio. So obviously this was one of the first ones I ever did. My pouring medium was the GAC 800 and Floetrol. Obviously I didn't put enough paint down for the base, but they're both the same colourways, but just laid down in different ways, different orders. These were all golden paints. I'm pretty sure they're all golden. I can't afford all golden at the moment, so there's never any guarantee, is there? But this has been a very, very interesting exercise in that silicone versus no silicone. Silicone crazy versus natural paint densities. It's interesting, isn't it? But this isn't for me. And I mixed it in. I did mix it in really well. Probably not well enough. So I've just swapping to voiceover here, and I'm doing my thing with my stick, and straight away, I haven't left this too long at all. You can see that the paint's not bouncing back. It's not coming back together as it normally would when I split the shapes. And that is because, as I said at the beginning, there is no kind of give. There's quite a lot of give in the canvas. Shapes aren't bouncing back, paint's not bouncing back. So perhaps this technique is not a good idea to do over a pre-used canvas. Fine for flip cups actually. I've done it quite a lot of times in workshops where you're just demoing something, you're demoing a particular style. So I'd have canvases coming out of my ears if I didn't reuse them. And sometimes, you know, you're just demoing a technique in a workshop. Therefore, you're not really concentrating on whether or not you're going to get a nice painting or not. So I will not do this technique again on a pre-used canvas. But this one here, I really like. And I'm really hoping it dries well at this stage. And I'm just slowly, if you've watched my previous videos, creating shapes. Lovely, relaxing to do. All the while thinking, what am I going to do with that one on the left? Because I can tell you now, it looked wonderful when I'd finished, and it looks awful now that it's dry. It's going straight in the bin. So stay tuned and I'll show you the dried results at the end. Okay, dried results. Love this one. I love that the sky is a mixture of titanium white and pearl white, my favourite skies, and I will be doing that in my Christmassy pour coming up next week, all being well. I really love how when you drag the stick through they spread at the top, you bring a little bit of the colour up to the sky. The paint didn't completely come back together in just a couple of places, but you know, that is so easily fixed with a brush. For me, I'm a natural paint density girl. But what I like about this swipe, there's all sorts of different ways you can do a swipe. You can layer your colours up one on top of the other and then swipe. But if you notice, what I did is I didn't really do that in this video. I did my silver, I did my copper, I did my blues. They weren't really overlapping. I wanted to create darkness at the bottom and light at the top, and that's how I get this lovely band of colour at the top, and then you get the dark hues coming through towards the bottom. Love that. As for this sorry one here, look. It did not dry well. Me and silicone don't mix. They just don't. Never works for me. Completely wonky, look. Really, really wonky. Horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Not only that, but look at that line there and the copper. And look, you can see the old pour underneath. And I've still got pockets of silicone hitting the base. So I think that if you're going to use silicone, my theory is that your paint needs to be thicker than you would for using it in a normal swipe. Because obviously the thicker the paint, the more it's likely to hold its shape. And also, probably there was quite a lot of paint on this canvas compared to this one. And obviously the old canvas did not help the situation at all. But there you go. I'm all about showing things that don't work. This one's beautiful. This one's horrible. So there you go. Thanks for watching, guys. And please watch my Christmassy one next week, because if it's good enough, I will be giving it away. Bye.